ప్రేమ స్వరూపులారా,
embodiments of love.
love is God, live in love.
Sairam and loving greetings to everyone. Welcome to the third episode of our divine journey of love through Prema Vahini, a gift from our beloved Swami. In our first episode, we reflected on how noble qualities form the path for the aspirant, emphasizing that goodness and virtue are the true foundations of spiritual progress. In the second episode, we explored how ahamkara causes ashanti, how ego disturbs the peace within and distances us from our divine nature. And now, in this third episode, we delve into another profound message, the need for Sanathan Vidya. Let us know, contemplate, and imbibe these sacred teachings, allowing them to purify our hearts and guide our daily lives. Welcome once again to episode 3 of the Prema Vahini series, The Need for Sanathan Vidya. Swami questions, haven't people trained themselves in countless skills, sciences, and arts? Haven't they devised countless machines and accumulated vast knowledge? Nevertheless, they haven't attained peace of mind, essential for happiness. With every passing day, this education drags them deeper into waters while peace recedes into the distance. Why? Because these sciences have only temporary value. This knowledge is all about temporary and transitory things. This learning does not reveal the innermost secret of the universe. There is one secret, if known, lays bare all secrets. There is one problem, if solved, solves all others. There is one knot, if untied, loosens all knots. There is one science, if mastered, masters all. That key science has to be studied. Swami declares that is the Sanathan Vidya, ancient wisdom. If a tree has to be destroyed, its taproot must be cut. There is no use plucking leaves one by one, it takes too long and may not work. The ancient Vedic rishis discovered this basic science. They saw God through ascetic endeavors and won His grace. They expounded the science they boldly discovered. Like the lamp illumines the house, but just at its foot lurks a dark circle. Indians are not knowing or caring for the treasure of illumination, but are lurking in the shadow. In past ages, Indians immersed themselves in the study and practice of the Vedas and Upanishads, recording their experiences to guide others. Later, those who came after placed those books on the altars and duly worshipped them. But these sacred books have been lately neglected by the present generation, reducing them to dust without realizing their value. However, eager students from the West sought out this treasure, realizing it enshrines incomparable wisdom. They carry it across the seas with joy in their eyes and thankfulness in their hearts. Swami writes with deep concern, "Shall I reveal what the children of India have been doing? They don't open the pages or concern themselves with the contents. Only 1 in a million reads them, but even he is ridiculed as a fool and crank. People laugh at the books as lies and legends, dismiss Sanskrit as too hard to learn, and pass the treasure to scholars from other lands. What a sad spectacle this is." Though Swami don't condemn worldly happiness, he feels glad when people are happy, but cautions not to believe this happiness is permanent. Study all arts and sciences for worldly happiness. But remember, this happiness is not everlasting. Permanent happiness can be secured through only one Vidya, the Upanishad knowledge, the science of God realization. Have always in view only that can save and grant peace. There is nothing higher than that. This is an indisputable fact. Whatever be the subject in which you have specialized in for a living, your eyes must be constantly riveted on Brahman, the absolute reality. If only intelligence is sharpened without growth of virtues, if mere information is stored in the brain, the world cannot progress and its welfare will be in danger. People are losing faith in virtues because education assigns no place to spiritual training. True education does not fill the brain with cumbersome junk. Only education that gives scope for the blossoming of all virtues is beneficial. People see the shadow and take it to be the substance. They see length, breadth, height, and thickness and conclude they have an object before them. This mistaking of appearance for reality is misnamed spiritual wisdom. Can an image of a person ever be he? If we take the image to be he, can we call it knowledge? What is seen as an object is not real. Its reality is not visible. Non-dualists believe, I am Brahman. How do they acquire that conviction? They say scripture declares it so, the Guru taught it. But learning from these sources does not entitle one to make that profound statement. Ceaseless striving through countless births, loyal performance of duties leads to purification of the mind and development of vairagya, renunciation. In such a mind, seeds of devotion sprout and, when tended with care and knowledge, grow into blooming flowers, fruits ripen with sweetness. When the fruit is eaten, one becomes one with the Supreme. For example, mud alone is real. The pot consciousness is born of ignorance about mud. It is impossible to separate the mud from the pot. The name and form of the pot are superimposed on the mud. How can a pot exist without mud? How can effect exist apart from the cause? To the ignorant, the world appears as multiplicity. To the wise, Brahman alone exists, upon which all else is superimposed. This is the non-dualistic, Advaitic experience. If the world is real, it must be seen even in deep sleep, but we are not conscious of it then. The visible world is as unreal as the dream world. Just as a snake is imposed on a rope through illusion, the world too is imposed through Maya, delusion, on Brahman, Supreme Self. The sky might be reflected in a pot of toddy and water, but this does not defile it. Similarly, in this vehicle, the body, the Atma dwells pure and undefiled. The fruits of action, good or bad, adhere to the Dheha, not to the indweller, the Atma. When such wisdom dawns in man, the darkness of all three types of karma, the Agami, karma of the future, the Sanchita, karma of the past, and even the Prarabdha, karma we are presently undergoing, flees. Swami proclaims, will of God is omnipotent. When you win the Lord's grace through spiritual practice, you can achieve victory over all karmas. The suffering and travail of this visible world are illusory and temporary. With our minds firmly fixed on His feet, let's bravely walk on the path of devotional sadhana as guided by Bhagawan and win His grace. Sai Ram. This is a humble offering at the divine lotus feet of Swami. Kindly post your answers for the quiz in comments section below. Sai Ram. Sai Ram.